Hello everybody, Jake here for FM Scout, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a tactic that's not only great for underdogs but can be used for any team at any level really, with a formation that you guys can all play. It doesn't involve any unusual roles like shadow strikers or inverted wingbacks. It's something that I'm pretty sure every team will have the squad to play, and it's been really successful for us here. So we're going to get into today's video, but as always guys, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below if you're going to use this tactic. Any of those things help push these videos out to more people, so if you could hit that like button and that subscribe button, it will mean a lot to me and the FM Scout channel. So let's roll the intro and I'll see you afterwards. Hello everybody, so here we are today. I'm going to be showing you the Holy Ghost Fire 451. It's a Knap tactic. The link to it will be in the description if you want to download it, if you like the look of what you see in this video. But I would urge you, I know a lot of people do like skip forward just to see the results. If you like look at the details in this, I don't want to say it's simple, but I think it's something we can all do, and looking at this formation you can probably see why. It's not really requiring anything too special in terms of roles, like a Mazzala, maybe a deep line playmaker, but I think most teams will have someone who can do that job, whereas sometimes a lot of the criticisms we get when we're doing these tactics are, oh, I don't have anyone who can play shadow striker, my players aren't suited to that. Well, I think this will suit many teams, and that's going to be shown today because we are going to simulate a season in the Premier League with 3 teams who are predicted to be the bottom 3 by the media. So that is West Brom, Fulham and Aston Villa. In Football Manager, they are predicted to go down, and I'm pretty sure if you simulate a season in the Premier League, most times you'll find that one of these teams, if not 2, sometimes even 3, will all go down. But we managed to do something a little bit better than that today, so we won't get into what happened just yet. I'm first going to show you all the roles in this tactic, but I'd like to say this tactic in the tactics table that we have on FM Scout that we used to test these tactics performed really well for a big, I believe it was Liverpool. They went on to win like the Champions League. I may be getting that wrong, but from what I remember, that's what the tactic was tested with. They did really well, and then they also found that this was really good for underdogs, which caught my eye because I've done a lot of underdog tactics, and always I get people saying, oh, I don't have these players, but I think with this formation, everyone can do it. It's nice and easily accessible, I would say. And today's test is going to show that you don't need like really, really great players to get it done. I'm not saying West Brom, Fulham and Aston Villa don't have great players, but I think compared to other teams in the league, I mean, the media say it in the game themselves, they're predicted to be the bottom 3, but we managed to do way better than that in this simulation. So let's get into all the players, all their roles, and how you guys can replicate this tactic if you decide not to actually download it and you want to input it yourself. So here we are, we start off with a sweeper keeper on the support duty. So if it's a dark green, that means you guys don't have to do it, it's already on there. If it's light green, I'll mention it so that you know to put it on your players. We've got a sweeper keeper on the support duty, we've got a wing back on the right with the attack duty whose additional instructions are more direct passing and mark specific position. And then the same on the left back. Now I know you guys are probably going to want to see which position they are marking. So we can see here the left back is marking the right winger or the right attacking midfielder, whatever you want to call it. And the left back I'm going to assume is the same. I haven't checked it, but let's quickly have a look. Here we go. Yeah, he's marking the exact opposite. That's usually the case with a mark specific position instruction. A lot of words there to get out. It's quite hard to do, but I managed it without getting my tongue tied. And here we are with 2 ball playing defenders on the defence duty, neither of them with any additional instructions. We then have a deep line playmaker on support, no additional instructions. As I've told you guys already, this is one that I think is going to be really accessible to all of you guys. It's something that I think every team can fit into. Then we have a box-to-box midfielder who is looking to mark tighter, tackle harder, shoot less often and take more risks. Then we have a Mazzala on the attack duty who is told to tackle harder and mark tighter, an inside forward on the left and an inside forward on the right, but the inside forward on the right will be marking a specific position, and if we go and have a look at what position he's marking the left back. So there you go, he's marking the left winger, he's marking the left back, and then we have a pressing forward who's going to push and challenge the opposition defensive line, and his instructions don't have anything additional. So that is what you're looking at. It has a positive mentality in possession. We are playing a fairly wide attacking width. We're looking to play out of defence with a short in pass and directness and an extremely high tempo. We're also looking to work the ball in the box. And then when we transition between play, we're looking to counter press, counter, distribute to centre backs and take short kicks. It seems near enough all the good tactics in this Football Manager use some kind of counter-pressing, countering system. So that's what we've got here. And then out of possession, we have a much higher line of engagement with a standard defensive line and a standard defensive width, looking to get stuck in with our tackles, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and use tighter marking with an extremely urgent pressing intensity. So there we go, that's what the tactic looks like. And then finally, if I quickly show you the set pieces, just so you can see it, if you want to pause it and replicate it, you can do it. This is defense on the right and the left, this is attack on the left and on the right you can see the attack ones do have a bit of a custom look to them. And then sometimes with these tactics we get a throw-in set piece as well, so if we go attack, this is what it looks like on the right, and this is what it looks like on the left. Throw-ins at the minute on Football Manager are very, very overpowered, and I think we're going to be using them here to hopefully get some extra goals for our teams that really are underdogs and are expected to get relegated in the league. So I've simulated a year ahead. You can see that here already. We're already actually in the year ahead, so I have seen the results of this. As you can see, we did it with West Brom, Fulham and Aston Villa. So with that being said, let's go show you guys the results of this tactic and how it did. Remember, you can find a link to it in the description. It's a really easy download, a couple of button presses, and you can load it into your game in Football Manager just like this and hopefully get some good results out of it too. Before we do go into the specific outcomes of simulating, I'd just like to say if you'd like to check out my channel, we've got a new save on the way, so if you guys want to go check that out, the link is in the description. Coming soon, I think you guys will already enjoy it. A lot of you guys have came over and you've got me to over 1,000 subscribers on my channel now, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, thank you guys so much for that, and if more of you want to come and join, feel free. But here we are, a year into the future. We've simulated a season. As I did mention, West Brom, Villa and Fulham were all expected to go down. If I remember right, Fulham were predicted 20th by the media, West Brom 19th and Aston Villa 18th. So Aston Villa were predicted to have the best chance of getting out, but the team that were predicted to come bottom, Fulham, have came 6th and have secured themselves a spot in the Europa League, only 1 point behind Giants Man City, 2 points behind Arsenal and 3 points behind Chelsea. Liverpool are way off at the top. No way we were catching them with the team we've got, but that's the kind of thing you would expect in these simulations. Aston Villa just missing out on the 6th place spot, but a 7th place finish for Aston Villa. We're all talking about how crazy it is in the league at the minute that they're doing so well, and we've managed to replicate that here. 66 points, way more than anyone else. 30 plus points clear of the relegation zone, so they've done brilliantly. It was Burnley, Everton and West Ham who went down, and Fulham and Aston Villa have managed to beat the likes of Tottenham, Leicester and Wolves to these higher up places in the league. And then probably most surprisingly to me, I thought if anyone was going to struggle because of the players that they have in the game, I thought West Brom would. However, they've came 11th. I'm not managing them day to day. They had no January signings, no signings that I put into place myself to get some players in who maybe fit the tactic. We just plugged it in and saw how it went. I didn't do anything special, and we've gone and got them results, so you guys could definitely replicate this and do better. We can see here West Brom surviving by a total of, what's that, 9 plus another 9, so around 18 points off the top of my head. So they've done really well for themselves too, a bit of a way off of Fulham and Aston Villa's, but considering they're only a point away from being in the top 10, I think this has been very successful. So we're going to go into team detailed, see how the players did and all that kind of thing, see if there's any surprises, but just quickly we're going to go to Fulham and check how well some of their players have done and do that at all the teams that we did test with. So if we look here and go by, how do we do it, average rating, we can see if we just purely look on average rating and nothing else right now, we can see Mitrovic did very well for Fulham in this simulation, getting a 7.11 rating with 18 goals. Some other players doing well. It looks like our centre-backs and defenders had a great time. Loftus-Cheek having a good season too, as well as our goalkeeper, some of the other players, and then interestingly down here on only a 6.89, Ademola Lookman, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, has scored 18 goals, so he's also done very well for us. A quick hop on over to West Brom, who of course with a team that didn't perform as well as some of the others, and we've got the centre-backs, the defenders, the goalkeepers all doing pretty well, so it seems defensively this tactic has worked quite well. And again, not to be horrible, if anyone's watching who is a West Brom fan, I hope you don't take offence to this, but I don't think really they've got a very good squad. Probably not a Premier League squad, but they've gone and done pretty well here. Carl and Grant apparently getting 15 goals. I've never really seen him do that well in a simulation. Conor Gallagher up there too. Lots of really good players for West Brom. And then finally, if we go over and check Aston Villa, go to tactics, average match rating, we can see Aston Villa also had some players chipping in with some goals. We've got someone getting 14 goals here in Ollie Watkins, Trezeguet with 11, Grealish with 12, and then 10 goals from Samata. I don't even know who this guy is. He's apparently joining Fenerbahce, a striker. I don't really know about him in real life, but he's gone on and got 10 goals. So a really good performance all around from these teams. So let's quickly go to the competition and see how well teams have done overall. Let's be honest, with the fact that Liverpool are so far ahead and Man U are so far ahead, only losing 4 games, I think we're probably not going to be like the highest defensive team or the highest attacking team. I haven't actually checked it out yet. So let's go to player detailed first and start off with goals. So if we go down, yellow cards, are we very high there? Quite a few of our players getting high amounts of yellow cards, but as a team battling against relegation, doesn't really surprise me either. Do we get anything interesting? So top scorers, are we anywhere near? 20 goals was the best, Anthony Martial and Callum Wilson. Mitrovic only 2 goals off of that, and Ademola Lookman only 3 goals off that. 2 players playing for Fulham getting close to the top scorer mark. I think that is very good. Carl and Grant for West Brom doing amazing there too with 15 goals. That's more goals than the likes of Vardy, Ings, Jimenez, Raheem Sterling, Mane. We can see Kevin De Bruyne as well. We got more goals than him. Ollie Watkins as well chipping in with a lot of goals for Aston Villa. So we've done well on the goals scored list. Bear in mind, anything better than relegation would have been a result here, and we've gone and got a 6th and 7th place finish, which again, were very close to both teams having European football. Only Fulham managed to get it, and West Brom, who looked like they'd be sinking ship, gone relegated straight away, have managed to stay up. If we have a look at shots, we can see Mitrovic had more shots than most people, more than Mohamed Salah, Aubameyang, Martial, so he's doing really well in that striker position, and arguably if you use this tactic on a better team than Fulham, you'd probably get more goals out of him, because if Martial's getting the most goals in the league with 93 shots, if he had 106, he might get an extra 3 or 4 goals in there. So I think if you had a better team, this tactic will perform well. And as I did say when I originally found this tactic, it was being used with Liverpool, if I remember right, and they pretty much won everything, as you would expect with Liverpool, but it does show that this tactic will work with better teams too. Onto the team detail now, we can see how our team performed attacking and defending wise. Be interesting to see how we did do defensively with these tactics. Average possession, we can see Fulham and Aston Villa surprisingly with 50% possession. You usually expect with a relegation team that they're going to be down here with the likes of West Ham and Fulham, you know, just like battling it out to be involved in the game. But all of our teams, including even West Brom, near enough getting 50% possession, so I'm very happy with that. Shows that we're competing in every match that we are playing. I imagine because of the tackle harder impetus on the midfield, that's the reason why we've got so many yellow cards, with West Brom, Aston Villa and Fulham being in the top 5 for yellow cards given. But at the end of the day, if we're getting booked, it doesn't matter if we're winning matches. Anything else special around here? Let's have a look, shall we? Here we go. Here's something to look at. Let's have a look at how many goals the team scored. And we can see Liverpool, Man U, Chelsea, Man City, some of the best attacking teams in the league, getting 70 plus goals. Liverpool miles out in front. But Fulham and Aston Villa, surprisingly, only a couple goals off of Man City and Chelsea. So they're doing very well in 5th and 6th place. And then West Brom, even more surprising, I would say, than some of these teams getting up here, because we know Aston Villa and Fulham do have some really good attacking talent, Aston Villa in particular, with the likes of Grealish, Barkley and Watkins. So we've actually had more goals than Tottenham, Newcastle, Leicester. Really good performance from West Brom there. If we look at goals from corners, we can see that Fulham, Aston Villa again performed really well. West Brom performing decently too. Chelsea miles out in front, but they do have a very, very good squad in this Football Manager. And I think in real life, they actually have the most goals from corners too, or at least one of the teams with the most goals from corners. So the fact that we're competing up there with them is very good in my eyes. Defensively now, let's have a look at how our teams did. I would expect that we would be quite open, just because 1, we are relegation candidate teams, and 2, because of the way that we are looking to like counter press all the time. If a team does beat our press, they might get a few goals from it, but it looks like Fulham did pretty well, conceding only 43 goals. That's only a couple more than City, Chelsea and Tottenham, who all have very, very strong defences. Aston Villa again, a bit further ahead with 59 goals conceded, but still doing pretty well for themselves, considering how attacking they were. And then West Brom again, the worst performing team out of the 3 that we've seen so far in pretty much every area. But the fact that West Brom are even up here, doing better than the likes of Leicester, Everton, West Ham, Newcastle, Leeds, Wolves, just goes to show how well this tactic has done for them. So there we go, guys. I had a look. There wasn't anything else in particular that was that interesting to look at, but we can see that this tactic, the 4-5-1 Holy Ghost Fire, we've seen a lot of variations of the Holy Ghost Fire so far. This style of play seems to be really effective in this Football Manager, and the 4-5-1, as I have mentioned, is one that I think all of you guys can play. We all have defenders. Most teams will end up having a deep line playmaker, someone who could be a Mazzala. That's probably the fanciest that it gets in this tactic, and that's not very fancy at all. I mean, you can see here, even Aston Villa, who I haven't had to actually buy anyone to fit in the tactic, could probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players who could potentially be a Mazzala. Anyway, the best thing about this tactic, in my eyes, is that it's very accessible, and even though we didn't perform like amazingly well, oh, we didn't score the most goals in the league or anything like that, let's be honest, we don't need to with the likes of Fulham, West Brom and Aston Villa, when we're keeping them all up from relegation, way, way, way away from being relegated. Even if these 3 relegation teams perform better, we can see that West Brom on 49 points, way ahead of that 40-point mark that you usually need to stay up. So the fact that we kept West Brom up is great. And then obviously Fulham and Aston Villa for bonuses, getting 7th and 6th place. Fulham again only a couple points off of being in the Champions League, which is absolutely nuts to see. Very happy with our performances there. Nothing interesting in the cups either. I did have a look around. Didn't do great in any of the cups, but who really cares? We've stayed up in the Premier League. Now, if this was you guys, you'd probably do a little bit better because you're controlling it. You'd then be able to make some signings, fit the tactic, build on it. And I'm sure if you're West Brom, you'll be pushing where Fulham are. And I'm sure if you're Fulham or Villa, you'll be pushing for these Champions League places in no time. So that'll be the end of today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps the videos out. And, you know, always nice to see when you make a video and loads of people are responding to it. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the best Football Manager content. And feel free to comment down below if you enjoyed the tactic or if there's any questions you might have about it. So thank you for watching. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.